Hi, I'm Don Ware. I work for Anderson Plywood. Today I just want to go over why there is a difference, and there's a 2 mm on the ETS sander, a 3 mm on the 5-inch ETS EC, and then the 150 ETS EC, and also the regular 150 comes in a 3 mm and a 5 mm stroke. And just want to kind of go over real quick what their differences is and what that kind of means. Basically what happens is this is the 5 mm stroke. It has a 5 in the back. And what that is how big this is oscillating. Okay? So the bigger the oscillations, the faster the paper has to move. So when the paper is moving faster, you're sanding faster. Sometimes you can't get quite as nice of a finish. You might have to step up in a grade of sandpaper because the bigger the oscillation, the more chance you could have a swirl marks in there. Solid surface guys, a lot of automotive guys, they like the 5 mm stroke because the solid surface guys that are doing the Corian tops, that kind of stuff, they're going to polish that anyhow. So they're going to get rid of any scratches down the line. They just want to stay flat and they want to sand fast. When you're getting into wood, you don't want that because if you get swirl marks, you have to sand with the next grit. And if you're doing any veneered plywood, the more you sand on it, the more chance you have of actually sanding all the way through the veneer. So with wood, a lot of times your 3 mm stroke will be a better choice in there. Remember, the smaller the stroke, the less chance you're getting for a swirl mark. The 5-inch ETS EC, that only comes in a 3 mm stroke, which is kind of ideal for most of your general cabinet and carpentry needs. You less chance of getting swirl. And then you go to the ETS 125, either the corded or the cordless. They have a 2 mm stroke. So they're only oscillating at 2 mm, which is not very much. That's almost 3 mm for 1/8 of an inch. So the 2 mm stroke, very, very unlikely that you're going to get swirl marks. And also, on the downside, it's going to take you longer to sand something because the sandpaper is moving slower because of that smaller stroke. But if you're going in between clear coats where you're finishing, this is an ideal sander for going in between your clear coats, getting a nice flat surface in between the coats on there. So hopefully that demystifies some of the differences between 2, 3, 5 mm strokes. When you get into your Rotexes, like the same thing in your 150 Rotex, it has a 7 mm stroke on when it's in Rotex mode, which if you were to sand something with that, put stain on it, you're going to see swirl marks. When it's in the fine sanding mode, it's doing a 5 mm stroke. So you're going to have to really be careful not to get any swirl marks. A lot of times I would use my Rotex and then finish it off with the ETS, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't want to stain something, see swirl marks, have to sand it all back off again and lose all that time I just put into it. So hopefully that answers some of your questions with the difference of the strokes. All right, thanks a lot.